So you're sat down at your weekly D&D session and someone says, I fireball the shopkeeper. What, is that too unrealistic? Okay, fine. Your monthly D&D session. Point is, your players just murderize some poor sap just grinding his 9 to 5, and you don't want to be the next top post on anti-work. So naturally, you want to teach them a moral lesson. And have I got the deal for you, because today, we're looking at the Revenant. The whole shtick with the Revenant is that it's just so angry about how it died that it crawls its way back into the world of the living to exact vengeance. And if you happen to be a hobo of the murder variety, then you are in for a wild ride. This ability is called Rejuvenation, and it's pretty much exactly what the Lich gets. Long story short, whenever it dies, the soul lingers for 24 hours, at which point it comes back to hunt down the creature that it has sworn vengeance on. Slightly different than the Lich, however, the Revenant does not need a phylactery to do this, and the only successful way to end the cycle is using a wish spell to wish that that soul would leave you alone. Yeah, that's right. The Revenant transcends the power of the Lich with its pure, unfiltered hatred for one person. But consider this, the Revenant is only a CR5 creature. If you encounter this creature when it should be a reasonable challenge, then you should have just reached level 5. And at level 5, you just got access to level 3 spells. Now, me and Matt have a complicated history, but if you get level 9 spells at level 17, you got at least this many levels before you can do that. Compare that to the Lich, and if you drop their pot, whoopsies, they're donezo. But hey, on the bright side, he only chases you down for an entire year before he crumbles to dust, so at least you have that going for you. But the icing on the cake is a little ability called the Vengeful Tracker. Pretty much, the Revenant knows the exact location of the creature that it has sworn vengeance on, even if they are on a different plane of existence. This guy literally has a 24/7 GPS tracker on your location at all times. And before you say, well, this is what Feigned Death is for, you're wrong. The stat block literally says no magic can hide a creature pursued by a Revenant. Okay, but let's move on to the actual stat block now, because this guy can't be all that bad, right? Well, hate to break it to you, but he's pretty bad. This bad mamma jamma is rocking a multi-attack with a whopping 2d6 plus 4 damage. But the real kicker is that if the Revenant attacks the creature that it has sworn vengeance on, it deals an extra 4d6 damage on a hit. Assuming it hits its target with both attacks, that is 12d6 plus 8 damage, averaging out to something like 44 damage in a single round. But I haven't even gotten to the worst part. It also has an ability called Vengeful Glare, which can paralyze its target. For those unfamiliar with conditions, paralyzation is arguably the worst possible condition to be afflicted with in this scenario, especially if you are the poor sap that wronged this mad lad. That's because paralyzation gives all attacks against them advantage and makes any attacks within 5 feet of them critical hits. Adding in the potential crits, the Revenant can deal roughly 80 damage in a single turn. For reference, a level 5 Barbarian with a +5 Constitution modifier, which is rare in its own right, who rolled max health for every health roll on leveling up, will have 85 health, meaning that it is nearly impossible for this combo to knock down a party member in one single turn. If the unfortunate soul who wronged this undead John Wick happens to be a class of lesser constitution, it is possible to down a party member in the first attack and then get an auto crit on the incapacitated party member for 2 automatically failed death saving throws. And if this player's dice just happen to be misbehaving, then they're dead before 1 round of combat has concluded. But if the Revenant does happen to kill its target, then combat is pretty much over. While the Revenant does not rest until its wrongdoer has been successfully killed, if they do succeed in that, then the combat encounter would end because they can finally move on knowing that they took your bitch ass with them. This makes the Revenant a great tool for teaching the problem player, or the problem party, a lesson about consequences. But let's talk about stats. The Revenant, it's got pretty good stats as you can see behind me, and it has proficiency in Strength, Con, and Charisma saves, giving him a +7 or +6 to all of those saves. This makes him really resistant to magic and abilities requiring saving throws, but even more so, he is immune to poison damage and resistant to necrotic and psychic damage. Plus, he can't be charmed, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, stunned, and is even immune to turn undead effects. He's just so angry you can't spook this guy. But by now you're probably thinking, yeah, okay, you've spent this entire time hyping him up, but he's gotta have some sort of weakness that you're not telling us, right? Well, sort of. Being a CR5 creature, the Revenant only has an AC of 13 with an average HP of 136. But that's about where the good news ends. Even with its low AC, it has an ability called Regeneration, which, assuming it didn't take fire or radiant damage, restores 10 hit points at the start of its turn. But I suppose, assuming you have a mage with Firebolt or Fireball, you could very easily end this poor simp's life, no harm, no foul. Do this a couple times, you don't really need to worry because, oh look, we're level 6 now, we have fire damage, and now he turns more into a nuisance than anything. Well, that's great. Except for the fact that the Revenant's smart. He knows that he's not strong enough to take you on after 1, 2, or maybe even 3 losses. And there is nothing worse than an intelligent and spiteful enemy. You pissed in this guy's Cheerios and he wants payback and he's willing to do whatever it takes to get it. So think about that 13 AC. It's from leather armor because the Revenant died poor. Not only did you murderize them, but you also stole their coin purse in doing so. But you know what? The Revenant doesn't care anymore, so oh no, now it's back with plate armor. And let's not forget his friends. Yeah, the stat block also states that if the foe is too powerful for the Revenant to destroy on its own, it seeks worthy allies to help. Yeah, this guy literally goes out, grabs a new posse, and comes back to fuck your day up. One of these new posse members that I personally love to give the Revenant is a Nightmare because it fits really well with his theme. A Nightmare, also known as a Hell Horse, is a fallen Pegasus that serves as a steed for a creature of exceptional evil. Think the Headless Horseman, but with a lot of fire and a lot of friends. Now, I'll let you discover their stat block for yourself, but I'll give you a quick taste of it. They are intelligent and grant fire resistance. That's convenient. Anyways, back to the Revenant. So when the Revenant comes back riding on his new Hellhorse buddy and is followed by his new Fiendish and Undead Posse, y'all better be ready for a fight because he is going to give you a damn good one. Look, bottom line, the Revenant is dangerous. It will make any deal and do anything that it needs to in order to make sure that the poor sap that wronged him ends up dead. This undead John Wick is so obsessed with revenge that his ever-tormented soul will literally sell itself to a devil in order to completely and utterly destroy you. And he will not rest until his revenge is complete. Or years gone by, but if by then you haven't figured out how to deal with this, then honestly, that's on you. That's the Revenant in D&D 5e, and if you like it, let me know in the comment section below. It's one of my favorite monsters, and you should really consider using it in your campaigns. It opens up the avenue for so many different threats to the party, and even has the potential for an easy reoccurring villain, or hero depending upon what route your party took. But anyways, before we go, I wanted to give a huge, massive thank you to our YouTube members and our patrons. All of these names you see behind me somewhere, this green screen over here, help me make content that we all get to enjoy, so if you see any of them in the comment section below, be sure to give them a thumbs up. If you want to support the channel, make sure to subscribe and join as a YouTube member or patron down below. Both members and patrons get access to all of our homebrew, items, NPCs, and special roles in our Discord. Also, if you have any questions or ideas about the Revenant, let me know in the comment section below. I read every comment, almost always reply, and who knows, I might even feature your comment in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on Friday.